Hashtag Ask Goji Man. I eat high carb, low fat and have the worst appetite ever. I never seem full. I went vegan 12 months ago and have put on a fair amount of weight. How do I stop these constant food cravings? Great question. Let's get to it. Roll the titles. Welcome back, it's good to see you all again. If we haven't met before, then hi, I'm Goji Man. I'm currently finishing a Masters in Nutrition and qualifying as a nutritionist, and next year I'll be studying for a PhD in nutritional science. I do plant-based nutrition videos every other day in which I answer your health questions under the hashtag Ask Goji Man. So if you have a question for me, then hashtag Ask Goji Man in the comments below, and I'll choose one of these questions to answer in my next video for you. So without further ado, to the question. So always being hungry on a vegan diet is one of the most common questions that I get. So today I'm going to delve into cravings and food cravings and how you can ensure that you stick to a healthy plant-based diet and not want to eat those foods which you know are no good for you and will only hurt your health and weight loss goals. Now, you will often hear a lot of health gurus and nutrition experts say that what you eat is simply down to your motivation as a person and also your self-control to avoid those bad foods. But I can tell you that if this is your train of thought in 2018, then you are so far out in your understanding of what controls a large proportion of a person's hunger. Self-control and willpower are a very small piece of the overall jigsaw. So let's quickly delve into what's driving these cravings and inevitably making you eat those foods which you know are no good for you. So the biggest thing that you need to understand in terms of your body and its functions is that we are approximately 80 to 90% microbial in nature. So what I mean by this is that only 10% of your physical makeup is your own cells, your bones, your skin, your blood and your lymphatic system, etc, etc. So only a small proportion of you is actually you. So the most important takeaway from this video is that the microbial environment of your gut will largely dictate what you crave in terms of the food, the carbs, the fats, the sugars, etc, etc. Or to put it another way, if the bacteria and yeast that dominate your gut are the more opportunistic and pathogenic forms of yeast and bacteria that thrive in fermenting, sugary environments, then guess what foods you are going to crave? So if you have a history of eating sugary processed foods with a history of antibiotic use and other medications, and you've created an environment of what I would call poor gut microbes, then even with the best willpower in the world, you are going to struggle to stay on the beaten track. This is one of the main reasons why diets never work, because over many years you have created a gut environment that thrives on fermentation and sugars. So when you stop eating these foods and try eating healthier, these gut bacteria and microbes go into overdrive and your cravings will dramatically increase. So one thing that I will say is that if you have tried numerous diets over many years and have never been successful, then this is the reason why. And you should know that these microbes in your gut have been working against you, and it's not your poor motivation as a person or your genetics that have been harming your health goals. So if you are someone that has a history of having a sweet tooth and antibiotic use, then it's critical you wipe out these bad gut microbes and bacteria and yeast with a good candida protocol or a parasite cleanse or a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth protocol, depending on what's happening in your gut. But killing off these yeast parasites and bacteria is just one small element of your overall gut healing. For a healthy gut that fires on all cylinders, you need to remember the 5 R's of gut healing, which are remove, replace, reinoculate, repair and rebalance. So let's run through these very quickly. So remove does exactly what it says on the tin. It's removing all of those things which will harm the gut. So the processed foods, the sugars, the chemicals and toxins from the foods, the artificial sweeteners, etc, etc. And it's removing the candida and bacteria in your gut with herbal antimicrobials or herbal antibacterials. And the type of supplements will be very much dependent on which forms of yeast and bacteria are overrunning your gut. So you absolutely need to test for the strains of bacteria on your gut, because depending on this strain of bacteria, it will have a different protocol. The next R is replace. So you are replacing and restoring natural digestive aids to help the gut really do its job properly. And this is a short-term supplement intervention involving digestive enzymes, supplements that boost hydrochloric acid, etc, etc. Next up we have reinoculate. So this simply means introducing beneficial bacteria to the gut that will help crowd out the candida and the yeast. The absolute best way to do this is fermented foods, but for some with gut issues such as histamine intolerance, this may be simply impossible, so they will have to start off with very specific probiotic supplements that are histamine neutral. Next up, you have to repair the gut lining, and this is often done through a combination of supplements such as L-glutamine and quercetin and pro and prebiotic rich foods. And the final R is rebalance, so it's understanding that the gut functions healthily when you get good amounts of sleep, when you have low amounts of stress in your life, and when you are physically active. So you have to rebalance your foods and your lifestyle to get everything working correctly. Another thing that I quickly want to reiterate here is that your gut health is so intrinsically linked to your mood levels. Now, for many years we have been told that depression and anxiety are due to chemical imbalances in the brain. This is a world away from the truth we know today. Now, what people need to understand is that up to 90% of your happy hormones and chemicals are produced by the good bacteria in your gut. So if you don't have enough of the good bacteria to produce enough of the happy hormones, what do you think is going to happen? Yes, you guessed it, you will get more depressed and more anxious. And to counteract this, the body will cause you to have big cravings for processed refined sugars, etc. Because when we eat these foods, you will get a quick release of the dopamine, etc. But this will only be very short-lived. So you will constantly be up and down. And funnily enough, the food industry is very clever in this area. They know exactly what combinations of sugar, fat and salt get you craving their foods and drinks. Now, I can already hear many of you say that you only eat whole plant-based foods and yet your appetite is still so bad. How can you explain this, Goji Man? Well, let me give you a very specific example. Say you were eating a banana, your body is very clever, and as soon as you start eating the banana, it will know all of the calories, vitamins and minerals and nutrients contained in that banana, and it will release the necessary enzymes, etc. to start breaking down the banana before it even hits your gut. So once your body has got the necessary calories and vitamins and minerals it needs in the gut, it will then notify the brain that you should stop eating. And this message will only be sent to the brain when you've eaten enough calories, and more importantly, when you've received all the necessary vitamins and minerals that your body needs. The problem occurs when you have yeast or bad bacteria in the gut, and they simply feed off the sugars from the banana that you've just eaten, so your body is tricked into thinking that you have not had enough calories, and therefore it doesn't send the satiation message to the brain. And the net result of this is that you continue to crave foods and overeat. Now, all of these different types of yeast and bacteria can also make you deficient in many different vitamins and minerals, particularly the B vitamins. So a lot of the time these cravings can be alerting you to the fact that your body is missing these essential nutrients because your body isn't absorbing them due to the yeast and bacteria or parasite problems. So for example, if you're craving very sugary foods, then it could be a sign that your body is low in magnesium, or that your adrenal gland or your thyroid glands aren't getting all the essential nutrients that they need to function properly, so the iodine, the tyrosine, the B6, etc, etc. And if you are craving fatty foods, then it could be a sign that your body is low in fat-soluble vitamins, so A, D, E and K. Now, I can fully appreciate for some of you this information may be a bit overwhelming, but it is very straightforward. You simply follow the 5 R's after doing a stool test and candida testing to see what strains of bacteria and yeast you have in your gut. You then strip the gut out of all the nasties and repopulate with healthy bacteria using fermented vegetables if you can tolerate them. Otherwise, you may need specific probiotic supplements if you have histamine or salicylate issues with your gut. You also supplement to support the digestion of your food properly, and then you supplement to repair the gut lining. And this whole process will usually take 3 months to rectify, but if you have really bad yeast or bacteria, then it can take even 1 to 2 years in some cases. So you really need to understand that there is no quick fix. You got to this stage over many years, so you are certainly not going to fix this overnight. So I hope this video really helps you all. As always, if you have a question for me, then hashtag AskGojiMan in the comments below, and I'll choose one of these questions to answer in my next video. And as always, remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.